how to win this Evolving Skies pack once we wrap around over here in just a minute. Why am I doing this video? One, because a lot of you asked me to. Two, because I haven't always been Mimikyus. In fact, I used to be some dude named Pokedan TCG, who was a Pokemon card seller on eBay, who started his YouTube channel solely on PSA returns and solely on content revolving around making money flipping PSA slabs. What? Yeah, I used to be a money-hungry investor, bro. Me and NN ain't so different, are we? No, we are. It's just very different. Point is, the first 6 months I was a YouTuber when I was Pokedan, that's literally all I did was do PSA returns. In 2023, I graded like 600 Pokemon cards, basically sold them all. Now I'm just this wacky dude who makes a variety of Pokemon card content and has a weekly series called Hottest Cards of the Week. But still, 3 days a week, week in and week out, I am actually purchasing raw Pokemon cards all the freaking time, including 20 minutes ago. So basically what we're going to do is, one, I'm going to pre-grade these cards right in front of your face rather than do it by myself, which I was planning on doing. I just bought all these 20 minutes ago, just got home. But then also I figured, you know, it's not a ton. We got Japanese, a whole stack of, here's Japanese ARs. Here's a whole bunch of random like English Sword and Shield stuff. This entire brick right here is all trainer gallery cards from Sword and Shield. What do I use? You're gonna find out. I use soft sleeves, I use PSA. Look, we're already learning. I use these. You don't send with these, I just store in these. Oh look, here's the semi-rigids I'm currently using. That, off Amazon. There you go. So we'll go over all of this, we'll go over all of that, and then I'll announce how you can win that Evolving Skies pack. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so first of all, let's go over the giveaway, and I want to give a couple other YouTubers a little shout out, and it's related to PSA grading and videos like this just in general. So first of all, if you want to win this absolute minty fresh Umbreon Evolving Skies pack right here, courtesy of Christian Dale, all you have to do is be subscribed. You do not have to be a member, just be subscribed, and write either, I don't even care, write Christian Bale or Christian Dale in this video right here and now. Christian Bale or Christian Dale, either one. And you can say, thanks Christian, I don't care. Something about Christian Bale or Christian Dale, and you will be automatically entered to win this. Okay, and then by the way, so first of all, let's go over some stuff I already pre-graded, and then we'll get into what I bought earlier just about a half hour ago. This is not, I just want to make this very clear right here and now. This is not a how to grade with PSA video. This is a how Mimikyus pre-grades his Pokemon cards video. So I'm going to link in the video description a how-to video from Pokevault himself, the man, the myth, the legend, Pokevault 8.
Mimikyus, say it with me, Mimikyus.
I'm going to link his video on just 101 basics of how to put stuff in a box and send it to PSA appropriately. There are so many videos that do that, that's not what this video is going to be. You got way better videos to show you how to send your cards to PSA. Check out Pokevault's video. Now, when it comes to videos like this video is the kind of video I literally built my channel on. A PokeTuber using his Pokemon cards that he actually owns to make content. That is something I literally started this channel on doing, and I want to give a shout out to one guy in America and one guy in Australia. TCA Gaming, Rusty here in America, and then Pokemon Steven in Australia. These two make videos, raw card appreciation videos I like to call them, where you use raw Pokemon cards and you make a solid video out of it. Those two, there's no one better. I don't know how regular Pokemon Steven is still uploading, but he is a massive inspiration way back when I started doing videos like this. So Rusty and Steven, if you like actual raw Pokemon card videos talking about grading and prices and how I do stuff, check out Pokemon Steven, check out TCA Gaming. All right, let's get into my stuff. Let's check out me. Yeah. All right, so anyway, there we go. Once again, Christian Dale, Christian Bale. There you go. All right, so yeah, let's just start off right here now. Let's do a little English and then we'll look at some Japanese. Here, let me show you what I used real quick. So these are regular soft sleeves. No one cares. Any clear, not, okay guys, this is a penny sleeve. The whole, like, the ones you use when you play, don't use those. Don't grade your cards with those. Use the cheapest, basic, just this standard penny sleeve when you're sending your cards to grade. These graded cards, semi-rigids, there's like 5 or 6 different brands on Amazon. They're all cheap. You don't have to buy Card Saver 1. There's like a million different brands, to be honest. I usually just go with whatever is like cheapest on Amazon. Sometimes I use Go Delight, Geo Delight. Sometimes I guess I use PJU, whatever this is. And then because I take so long to grade my cards and I have so many, literally thousands of cards to grade, and I have OCD, I often keep these card savers either grouped together like this, or I keep them, if they're really expensive cards, in individual PSA graded. This is for slabs, but I use them on these. So in a lot of my videos, you will see a single card. Don't do this. We'll talk about that too. Do not tab your cards, but you will see a singular card where I have it in like this, and then I have it in one of these. And that way I can grab it, I can do whatever I want with it, I can use it in a video, I can go move it around, and I don't have to worry about lint, fingerprints, or any of that crap getting on the actual card saver itself. So that's why I use these, and as you can see, you can get 50 of these for like $5 at a card shop or online. So yeah, they fit perfectly in the card savers. They go together, even though they go for the actual slabs, they also fit perfectly in these things. So there you go. So that's part of my how I keep cards safe, and even the stuff that the card is in minty, because I got OCD. I like my cards minty, I like my card savers minty, I like my penny sleeves perfect, I like everything as clean as possible before I send to PSA. All right, now let's get into some actual cards. Start with some Sword and Shield English, see what we got in here. And this will just be a quick rundown, and then we'll get into the cards that I actually am going to pre-grade. So all the cards you see here, once I get them in card savers, none of these tabs are going to be on them. This is such a random assortment. Which bag did I grab? This is the V promo bag. Okay, these are all promos, and they're all Vs or EXs. This was a terrible, terrible bag to start off with. Who knows how many years it'll be before I grade these cards. But yeah, as you can see in the bottom left, these are all Black Star promos. I don't even know if I pre-graded a lot of these. These are so down on the priority list. Probably never. Yeah, we don't even care about any of this, to be honest. Yeah, so this bag was just EXs and Vs that are promos. Maybe I'll grade someday, maybe I won't. But there you go. All right, that was super uninteresting. Let's move on to something better. Here, let's go to the trainer galleries. Yeah, these are actually kind of a priority. So every single trainer gallery that is in this bag, I have deemed to be more or less perfectly centered for a 10, or at least centered well enough for a 10, condition good. Let's see here. And we're not gonna see like Misty or whatever, because I do have my more expensive trainer galleries already in that situation I was showing you guys about earlier. Let's take a look. Here's a bunch of VMAXs. Look at some VMAXs real quick. So this will be black border trainer galleries. So real quick, we'll actually take the Blaziken and we'll look at it. So all V's and those. All right, so let's take a look at this real quick. So Blaziken V, what are the 4 criteria for PSA? Centering, edges, corner, and surface, right? So that's a 4-point scale. Centering, edges, corner, and surface. Let's take a look at the centering. Here, let's take this out. One thing I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat is if you're actually trying to pre-grade a lot of Pokemon cards quickly, just start by pre-grading the back. I've said that for, I guess, 2 years now. So you can take all the time in the world, right, to check out this Blaziken VMAX. You look at the surface, the edges, y'all, and it's like a minute later you finally decide to turn it over. And then, oh, wait, there's a huge obvious white spot. Or, oh, wait, there's all this whitening. Point is, dark blue, it's way easier to very quickly pre-grade the back of a Pokemon card than it is to grade the front of a Pokemon card. Because surface, all the different colors of a Pokemon card across the surface can easily hide print lines, can easily hide any irregularities. And when it comes to the 4 categories from corners, surface, edges, and centering, centering is usually the first thing people look at, and it's the first thing people deem as okay. The corners and the edges are the second. Surface is usually the last thing. Surface is what gets people more than any of the 4. Some kind of surface damage, surface issue, maybe a little indentation somewhere, like right there, somewhere in the middle of the card where you didn't notice because you were so focused on the edges, the centering, the corners. So I'm just saying, just be mindful. And also, there are print lines on the back of Pokemon cards, not just the front, especially with illustration rares in the Scarlet and Violet era. So always be looking for a random faded line. It just looked like almost like a plastic mark, like someone took some plastic and went, meh. Yeah, because print lines on the front are usually, when you see them, because they go through various colors, it helps the line stick out. On the back, it'll just look like this weird little plastic, just a lighter meh. Also, here's another thing. While we were looking at the back of this card, something I call card shop scratches, which would show up in the middle of the card on the side, either on the left or the right, and it literally depends if your card shop owner is left-handed or right-handed, and that's when they take the card and they swipe it with their hand. They swipe it off the glass case, literally, as they're picking it up, as they're inventorying, and when they swipe either left or they swipe either right, it creates these horizontal little chicken scratches, and they'll usually be in the middle of the card or on the side of the card from them bowing out and just taking the card off the top of the counter. So that's another thing. Card shop scratches on the sides of the Pokemon card, where my thumb is or my index finger. That's a real thing. Okay, so I think we've looked at this Blaziken VMAX enough. But as you can see, this Blaziken VMAX, let's look at the centering. It's pretty much perfect. And then, by the way, a quick way to tell top to bottom. Left to right centering is always going to be easier than top to bottom centering because of artworks, the way that borders disappear on the top. Obviously, there is no border for the VMAX. So one thing you can do is come down here and look at the centering on the text. 2022 Pokemon Nintendo Creatures Game Freak. Now, if that text was way closer to the bottom of the card and, it was just a thin black line, you would know that it's top to bottom off center. If that text goes right in the middle of that black bar, where you have a little space above it, a little space below it before the end of the card, that'll help you identify that this is indeed a top to bottom well-centered card, not just a left to right well-centered card. Also, you can look at the angles from the corners. This one, not so much because of there. That's why for every different style of Pokemon card, there are different little quick indicators where you can look. Like, for example, like the Sun and Moon era, they have the very thin outline on the GX cards. You can use, maybe we'll grab one later. But anyway, there are different types of borders where you can very easily tell if a card's off-center or not. So yeah, but these guys, it's not as difficult. It's just the top border versus the bottom border that might get you in trouble. So there's that. All right, so let's move on. Do we want to look at more trainer galleries? I got some good ones. Yeah, we'll breeze through them. This is a card appreciation video. It'll be a little longer. It's fine. So here we go. Here's some Sylveon action. I guess I probably should have already taken care of these guys. All right, okay. Well, I guess we do have some more expensive cards. There's a Garchomp right there. So Sylveon V, top to bottom, left to right. Let's just look at Sylveon. This card's so beautiful. Let's take it out. All right, so top bar versus bottom bar. Top maybe a little thick, but the bottom's still pretty solid. Left to right, it's definitely left to right. Doing just fine. Let's look at the back of this card. So see how I'm creating that little, get that bright light to do top to bottom. And that will slowly but surely highlight any print lines that are on the left or right of the card. That all looks pretty clean. I'm not seeing any card shop scratches in the middle there. Let's look at the edges. You guys see any white edges, any white dots? We maybe have a tiny, That's not really anything. Yeah, it's nothing. 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 Edges look pretty clean. No lips. No weird little lips on the corners. You know about those lips? All right, so yeah, this is probably a 10. Probably a 10. Yeah. Well, the top bar is a little thicker than the bottom bar. That's the only problem I'm seeing with this. Literally, that's it. So, a little thicker on the top, but I don't know if it draws, your eyes draw that much attention to that. Probably a 10. Okay. So there's Garchomp. Yeah. I am going to kind of quickly get into the actual cards. I'm going to pre-grade here in a sec, right, and just show you guys some of my collection. There's that, and then here's just a whole bunch. We won't even look at those. This is all yellow borders. Got the Evolutions in here. This is Jolteon. It took me a while to find a perfect Jolteon. A lot of surface scratches on a lot of these. Let's actually take a look. Let's look at surface front scratches on the holo. Let's check that out. See how well we can pick up on any, if we can. There. Over here, get this all off screen. Okay. You guys hear that bird? There's a bird chirping outside my window. Okay, so top to bottom, left to right, I would say this is about as good as well-centered Jolteon you'll ever see. But what we want to do is see if we can see any hairline scratches in these open surface areas. Can you hear that bird? I feel like you can hear the bird. All right, anyway, I don't see any. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Let's look at the back. Not seeing. Is that a little? Okay, let's look at the back here. Okay. All right, so when you look at this straight on the back, yeah, I don't know. It's looking pretty good to me. Yeah, I think that's pretty solid. Excellent. All right, so there you go. There's some. Maybe, here, let me look at some Japanese real quick. Then we'll get right into everything I just bought. There's some stuff already. What does this say? V-Star Jap? V-Star, this must be some V. I haven't opened this thing in a while. What are all these? Just random. Okay. Random V-Star and a couple. Yeah, there's a random. In a Southern Islands, Rainbow Island. Very off-center. Here, let's grade a vintage card real quick. So as you can see, clearly left to right OC. How long did that take to figure out? A millisecond? Let's look at the back. So I actually pulled this out of the actual file that it came out of with the Mew. So look at the red border. You see how we're very thin on the right there versus on the left side, we got a solid, almost like 1/4 inch. Yeah, that's why I graded the other two and I didn't grade this one. I could have graded all three of them together, but I already knew this wasn't getting a 10. My Mew didn't get a 10 either. My Mew got a 9. It had a bad corner. But yeah, so vintage Japanese, definitely off center right there. ARs, solid brand new ARs right here. Got a bunch of old ones, and I think these are some of my newer ones that I got. We can check those out, and then we'll get into some actual pre-grading. All right, what do we got here? So Rapidash. How's that centering? Maybe a little left or right OC. Yep, that left bar is a little thick. A lot of open area for scratches right there. This is a brand new card. I just got it like a couple days ago, obviously. So Japanese, let's talk about Japanese for a sec. If you want nothing but 10s, you should be a Japanese collector. Your chances of getting 10s on Japanese is astronomically higher than in English. I'm just being honest. I've had entire PSA subs where like 39 out of 40 cards get PSA 10s, and then they're like complete Japanese submissions. The amount of almost flawless I've had like 4 returns where every card got a 10 except for one, literally. And those are always returns that are almost
exclusively Japanese. I have never done a PSA return with all English and gotten back every single card in the 10 except for one. That is way, way more likely if you are doing Japanese cards. The quality is better. It's not always better. It's almost like on a set by set, because you still get Japanese off-centered cards. It's just not as obvious, and it's way less likely. But yeah, all right, let's get into the cards I actually bought. All right, so first of all, this is just an Aerodactyl I really, really, really wanted. So Christian gave me just for fun. It is not even close. This thing is absolutely wrecked. It is just literally a card that I really wanted. Kind of a derpy looking Aerodactyl right there. Okay, so this is what I bought. I bought a Giovanni's Master Ball. I bought a Japanese Lily's Rabambe. Bought a Salamence EX. This is actually for my master set, I think. This isn't even for grading. I got a Iono's Belly Bolt, which I already have one for my master set, so I bought this for grading. Another Gloom. This will be like my umpteenth Gloom. I have no idea how many Glooms I have at this point. I actually paid $9.99 for this, not $13.99. And then I needed one. I've been having a lot of trouble over the last 2 weeks finding a perfectly centered Zerua promo, ETB promo. And I think I finally found one. So yeah, and I've failed on a few occasions. I bought a few of these that I thought were well centered. But yeah, I've just been looking for one solid. Okay, so this is left to right OC, but it looks to be within the back parameters. Top to bottom, it's perfect. So this ETB promo, just run-of-the-mill standard ETB promo. Even these can be hard to find a perfect 10 in. They might not be worth a lot, but I'm just being honest. It took me a while, a pretty long while, to find an Zerua that is this well-centered. So I'm very happy I found this today. Absolutely. What else did I get here? Let's see. Got an older Rayquaza promo, which I actually have on my window right above my head here. So we got this Rayquaza right here. This was so well centered, and I didn't see a single white dot when I was looking at this. Like, for this old of a Rayquaza promo to have, obviously you can't see because it's in this crap, but it's perfect. I couldn't even believe it. Couldn't even believe it. And I'll pre-grade it, so we'll take it out in a sec. Iono's Kilowattrel. We got another Noibat. Finally, this still isn't even well-centered, and it's still the closest one I found to being well-centered. This box topper promo, this is like the 4th or 5th one I bought. All of them are not as well-centered as I would like, but I keep getting closer and closer and closer. Plus, every few days it goes down a couple bucks in market value. So I think I paid 12 bucks for this one. But man, even this, oh yeah, can't see it. Another Crustle, there's Rapidash. I frickin' love you. And then I finally found, to grade, what I believe to be a very, very well-centered Articuno. And this Articuno, I pulled one that was horribly, horribly centered that will go into the master set. This one I am absolutely going to grade, and I am ecstatic that I found this one. I am so ecstatic that I found this Articuno, this well-centered. Oh my God. All right. So now I'm just gonna unsleeve them. And then, yeah, basically I'll put them all in penny sleeves. I don't need this video to be an hour long. Yeah, so we'll give them a once over, and we'll put them in penny sleeves. That's how we'll do it. Swoop. Over there, grab my penny sleeves. Penny sleeve, penny sleeve. Okay. So PSA, by the way, if you're wondering, like, strategies when it comes to how to get a 10, the number one thing I can tell you that affects PSA grading is how busy they are. And obviously, I can't prove this. You know, it's not like a fact. But I'm under the impression that PSA, when they are absolutely slammed, that is when they absolutely start handing out 8s, 9s. Oh, Jesus. I really just did that. I don't think I've ever done that before. I go to pull it out in the sleeve state, and what the hell? All right, so don't do that. I might have gotten really, really lucky, and because I could have just scratched the hell out of this card. Okay, wow. Wow, this is not what you want to see. Okay, okay, now we're good. All right, now we're good. All right, so let's pre-grade this. It's got some stuff I'm gonna have to clean. It's got that right there. I'm gonna show you guys a little trick on how to get little white specks off. In fact, we'll do that right now. So basically, use a code card, use whatever, be very delicate. I have an entire, this thing right here is literally full of basic maintenance. Like, you're not doing too much. Like, here's sunglasses, like a lint-free cloth. Here's a bunch of V-star markers. So I'm gonna use a V-star marker to kind of scratch off that dot. See if we can save it right here and now. Okay, so there was, let me show you what I'm gonna try to fix. See that white dot? There's a little white dot right there. We're gonna see if that's real or not. All right, here we go. Wow, look at that. I just took it right on off. And I take my lint free. I'm just gonna, rather than put your fingerprints on the surface, you can go like that, or use a soft sleeve. So there, we're just gonna do a quick little smash, smash, smash. I'm gonna just go like that. Go across here. Bang, bang, I'm gonna slide it down. Okay. All right, so already, even on camera, you can see this vibe is way better. All the little dust, debris is gone. That white dot is literally gone. That white dot that was there. There was a little residue left over, but I was able to scratch it off. All right, so let's look at these corners. That corner doesn't have a single white dot. That corner does not have a single white dot. That corner does not have a single white dot. Let's check for card shop scratches. I don't see any little chicken scratches left or right. I'm also looking off camera real quick to see if I'm missing anything. So yeah, this looks solid, but this is a 5-year-old Sword and Shield promo. So we absolutely need to look for scratches in the holo here, because it would be very typical for this card to have a scratch or two. Okay, so I'm looking off camera to the side because I am actually pre-grading, not just making a YouTube video. This is on the front, one of the nicest Rayquaza 29 promos I think I've ever seen. So I'm actually a little giggity right now, and I'm just gonna slide this into a soft sleeve before I make anything any worse. But yeah, I've been looking for this card in a potential 10 for a while. Holy moly, that is fantastic. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, that looked really solid after I fixed it. So there's that. Excellent. Oh man, I'm actually super pumped. Let's look at, and real quick, do the slap here. Hold tight, slap hand, bang, slides right out. Shwee. There you go. See, look, we're learning all kinds of stuff. All right, so Enzarua. Let's absolutely, for starters, look for any scratches in the open area, and I'm looking on camera and I'm looking under the camera. Not seeing, I got a little. The centering on this is freaking amazing. Centering on this card is fantastic. Wow. Okay, let's look at the back. On the back here, we got some little schmeckles. Yep, it came right off. We got another schmeckle. Came right off. It's slightly left to right, OC. You see this bar is definitely bigger than that bar. And PSA did make their criteria a little more strict, but that was mainly on the front of the card, not the back of the card. So this, let's stop moving for a sec. This should get a 10 as far as back centering goes. It's fine. Yeah, it's totally fine. I've seen way worse get a 10. But the front, oh dude, I'm so happy I got this. Fantastic. All right, next is a Gloom. Look at a Gloom from Obsidian Lanes. Here's the Gloom. Once again. Yeah. There we go. Oh God, I hate these. I hate these slaves so much. Bang, bang. I love this. This card is just on another level. Is this card not on another level? I was singing this card's praises when it was like $2.50. Oh, man. Uh-oh, we got some border stuff down here. Okay, so this is definitely not going to be a 10. It has some edge wear issues down below at the bottom. So one, there's some stuff going on down there. You see that? From there all the way to there, there's some obvious whitening on the edge. Down here, that's almost a dot. See, these aren't white dots on the edge. This is edge wear, edge issues. Yep. So this is going to be a binder. This is going to be a binder gloom, absolutely, which is totally fine because I got a couple extra pages in that Obsidian Flames master set that could use another gloom. God, it's so beautiful though. So at the card shop, I thought this was a 10. And then I get home and look at all that I didn't notice on the bottom left and the bottom right. Could have been a 10 if it didn't have that, because the front looks so good. But there you go. Sad, sad, sad. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. All right, now let's look at Iono's Belly Bolt. Brand new card. This should absolutely be a 10. Oh, hello, hey. Well, something happened. It was printed. Okay, so Iono's Belly Bolt. There you go. Centering left to right looks solid. I don't anticipate any surface issues with this card other than maybe a basic with the non, this guy right here. I might go like this, and then I might just do a quick little ha just to get any debris or land off Belly Bolt himself. Yeah, it already looks a little better. All right, let's look at the back of the card. We got some schmuck on it. Okay. Not gonna lie, the back of this card is solid. You don't see any weird lips or dark areas from a raised edge or a nick. Kind of flush all the way top to bottom. Make the light go all the way down. Scratches on the sides, I'm not seeing it. Solid, I love it. I pulled this in my booster box opening. I had the greatest booster box Journey Together opening for not pulling an SIR. That was amazing. I couldn't even believe how good my booster box opening was. All right, now we got some Shellmanch. This one, like I said, is gonna be for the master set, so we're just gonna throw it in the new sleeve real quick and call it a day, probably. By the way, if you don't like shoving your fingers, something you can do is pinch the bottom of the card. This is something I do. Go like that. That way, it's fine. Get it close enough to where you can actually pull it out. Now I can pull it out. Hey, look at that. There's a sound. God, this card is so nice. The back of the card, it's fine. Whoa, what is that down there? What am I looking at? This card got crimped while it was printed. You see that? Literally, this is a factory crimp on the bottom of the card. What the hell? So it's like an extra line, and then from the front, it looks totally fine. But then you lift the edge and you let the light hit, and you can see the crimp. You can see where it was supposed to be cut versus where it didn't. Wow. So yeah, that'll go in the master set binder. Yeah, that sucks. Because here, this way, it looks totally fine. Very interesting. But there you go. Look at that. Look how obvious it is the second you lift it up on the light. How not obvious it is like that. That's unfortunate. Oh yeah, look at that line. Look at that. You see it right in the front. That is a print line of print lines. It's actually a press line, not a print line. That's unfortunate. Here's what it is. Lily's the Rabambe. So Lily's Rabambe, I think this one will be solid. Let's see here. Oh yeah, we like that centering. And again, this is a brand new Japanese AR. A majority of brand new Japanese ARs are gonna get 10s, just straight up. And to be honest, almost every Japanese, almost every Japanese AR I have ever graded has gotten a 10. Off the top of my head, I don't even think, that might have been a V-Star Universe card, not even an AR. I don't even know if I've ever graded an AR and not gotten a 10. That's, now that I'm thinking about it, there's a Giovanni's Master Ball. I've never graded a Master Ball, so this will be my first Master Ball ever. Literally. If I do, I mean, yeah, I do want to grade this card. Shoop. Giovanni Master Ball. I've never pre-graded a Master Ball, so this will be interesting. Definitely, I know they're going to have a lot of print lines, or they could have a lot of print lines. That is so cool. Is the Master Ball print supposed to be over the whole card or just the bottom? I'm confused right now. Like, it's literally on the borders, it's on everything. Yeah, I totally forget. It's way up there. Literally on the corner up there. I'm sorry, this Giovanni is insane. That is so cool. I think the print is supposed to cover the entire card, but yeah. This looks better than usual. Very cool. Yeah, I'm super glad I picked this card up. The surface real quick. Huh. God, yeah, I like this. I like this Giovanni. Very cool. I almost missed this card too. I found it in a box. All these cards I bought from Valleywide Sports Cards today. I only went to one card shop today, and that was Valleywide Sports Cards, Scottsdale, Arizona. So I did buy all this from Christian. He is definitely the hookup. Got another Ionis Kilowattrel. There we go. This is English, obviously. Feel like this is my fourth or fifth one of these. Maybe I got more. Do I got more? I don't know. Any Journey Together single under $10, I'm just scooping up because I love them. Like the Lycanroc, the Swinub, the Noibat obviously is one of my favorite. Let's look at the centering. Centering looks pretty darn solid. Look at surface. I'm not seeing any. Oh, look right there. Anytime you see blue sky, blue light, light blue, Scarlet and Violet base set, Paldea Evolved, the amount of illustration rares that are just so full of print lines because of the sky, yeah, that's where you're getting a lot of these really low pops on a lot of these cards. So I'm looking off camera. I think I see a little white dot down here. You can get a PSA 10 with one white dot, with one print line, with one anything. It's for the most part, once you combine two small issues together, that's when they kind of automatically knock you down to a 9. So like one white dot on a corner is not going to keep you from a 10. Trust me, please. But if it was one or two white dots plus off center, you know, or a little scratch, whenever you add two small issues together, you're going to get a 9, not a 10, if the grader knows what he's doing. But one small issue is fine. You can still get a PSA 10. A PSA 10 is not a perfect card. A PSA 10 is a near perfect card. That's a fact. And the amount, and then yeah, obviously human error will always be the biggest factor in grading, because I've seen some absolutely atrocious cards get PSA 10s. That's for sure, unfortunately. Noibat, my favorite right here coming up. Yeah. Pulled this card on camera. This card might have a little edge wear on top. You see the little glisten up there. I don't know, it's not too bad. But this Noibat, my God. Let's see here. Not seeing anything. Yeah, I'm not. Centering on the back is solid. Looks like maybe a little white schmeckle up there in the corners. I don't know if that's even enough. Overall, yeah, those are like microscopic white dots. I don't know. I think this Noibat. This Noibat's biggest issue is this top border being a little too shiny. You can't even really see on camera. All in all, I think this has a serious shot at a 10. I actually have a Noibat that I wrote Black Label on, because there's very few cards where I just have this thing where I just want to get a Black Label. Like the Grand Prix Charizard that made Brian Pokémon famous. I have the most perfect, most obvious should be Black Label version of that card. And I literally want to get it in a Black Label just so I can sell it to Brian. Literally. Alright, here's the box topper. Box topper is like a box topper, so I'm just going to leave it as is. What else we got? What do we got left? Let's just pre-grade my Articuno and then we'll call it good. Because, these two, the Shaman looks so... Yeah, we'll pre-grade the Shaman too, because there's a lot of opportunity for scratches on the Shaman. And then I'll wrap it up. Maybe I'll think of something else to say. So in general, I'm someone who, I don't, unless you're a kid and you, you don't have access to grading and PSA memberships and you need to rely on your parents, those are the only people I think should use GameStop, or just kids, essentially. Kids or people who don't want to pay a membership. If you're serious about grading, I would probably just do the actual PSA membership and become a PSA member, just straight up. Because, yeah, GameStop seems hit and miss, and you're just adding time to your turnaround time if you use GameStop. So there's a lot of weird little GameStop things where they won't even send the cards out until they get enough cards at their location to send out. Like, it's like a bare minimum of 20. Let's take a look at this Articuno real quick. So Articuno, this Articuno, it's well centered, but so right there, little white edgeness, little flare. Right down there, just a little general whitening right there. It's pretty, I could get lucky. I could get a 10 on this, but this is borderline. This could be a weak 10 or an exceptional. Wait. Hold on. This could have a bend in the side. It's right there. Oh man, this might have a warp to it. Christian! Sorry, in case Christian Dale's watching this. Look at that. You see that right there? I don't know what that is, but there's a good chance. There's a good chance that that can ruin this card. Right there. It's like an impress indentation. Only catches on the light. A good grader, a solid grader would see that and give this a 9. A grader who's in a hurry might flip this over, look to the edges, go like this, might not even notice it. So a good grader gives that a 9. A bad grader would give this a 10 and totally miss that. That is super unfortunate. I thought this was a sure lock at a 10 almost. But that kind of changes things quite a bit, unfortunately. It is what it is. I might still give it a shot. The front of the card is absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I'll give it a shot. And by the way, that could go, if depending on the way they judge that, right there, you see it on my finger right here, they could call that a PSA 6. If it was pushed in, and an indentation is an automatic PSA 6 or 5. So that could be totally not seen, or they can drop this card all the way down to the most beautiful PSA 6 you've ever seen. They do have automatic qualifiers. All right, there's that. Now let's check out the Shaman, and then I'll just wrap it up. There's so many cards I was planning on showing you guys, and I showed you guys a lot of cards regardless. All right, this beautiful card. So this card could be a highly likely to get scratches on it. Let's put it that way. Just like any illustration rare or any art rare, you really got to pay attention to the surface. Really got to look for print lines, card shop scratches. This one, I'm looking off camera. It's looking, oh man, I love this card. I love this card so much. This reminds me so much of like Radiant Collection back in the day. X and Y. Back of this card is flawless. That is exciting. I'm happy about that. Hell yeah. All right, so that's that. All right, so if you're wondering as far as me grading, over the next year or two, I will get right back into doing what I started this channel on, which is grading a lot of cards, showing PSA returns. I'll be doing themed graded videos. I'll be doing sequential grading for themes. The amount of random weird crap I like to do when I grade and do submissions is a lot. I'll do like all English, all Japanese of the same card. I'll do specific sets. I'll do specific Pokemon. I've done all Pikachu and all Charizard subs, which, by the way, that's a good idea because Pikachus and Charizards are very liquid. But yeah, if you guys have any comments about anything, PSA grading, CGC, Beckett, what should I go, for what reason, tag, SGC. I actually do have a ton of knowledge on just in general all the grading companies. It's something, whether I'm a goofy PokeTuber now or not, I do take grading seriously, I do take condition seriously, and I do view that as a large money-making machine for me years down the road and for the rest of my career. So I do take PSA seriously, I take all this seriously, and even if yesterday I made an Investor Bro parody video, I'm still going to follow it up with a serious PSA grading video that you could probably learn something from, and I'm always going to be like that. So anyway, if you want to win that Evolving Skies pack, one more time, I can't even find it right now. Christian Dale. And until then, tomorrow I'll see you guys on Hottest Cards of the Week. And on Hottest Cards of the Week, I will be announcing a Prismatic Evolution 3-pack blister Leafeon giveaway. And I'll see you guys then. Deuces.
Cards and creatures, he's got the knack. Strategy sharp, there's no turning back. From the